okay, with a special theme song. For those of you who don't know, 50 cents. That's just the beginning, right? And we have an exit song for you too. If you stay to the end, you're going to be able to see the exit song. Today we brought most of the team. We have the Philippines, we have Serbia, we have Germany, we have Israel, we have Canada, we have the United States. Great team, great. Thanks for joining. We'll just try to answer as many of your questions and try to entertain you for the next hour. A lot of babies on the screen. Daniel joined us as well. He just had a baby. Where's the baby, Daniel?
Sleeping.
Okay.
Sleeping is good.
So quick update. We released a new version. It's in the App Store. If you haven't updated or refreshed your Celsius app, you should do it and try to use some of the new features. We also have few additional surprises coming on Monday. So make sure to kind of check in and see what we cooked for you over the last few months. And this is your opportunity to ask the team anything you want. So join the chat, post your questions, and tell us what you want to hear, who you want to hear from. And let's jump in. Let's just do the first question.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, I'm going to switch us back to gallery view here. So to get the ball rolling, feel free to jump on. This is general team questions for everybody. Kristin, we're going to start with you and go along. One word to describe Celsius, please.
Oh, exhilarating.
Ashley Harrell, what you got?
Intense.
Paul, can I get one from you, please?
Innovative.
Alex, one word to describe Celsius, please.
Passion.
John? No, John can't hear me. He's too busy thinking about lifting. What about Darren? One word to describe Celsius, please.
Paul stole my word, so I'll go with fun.
Okay, Nuke, what you got?
I would say disruptive.
Disruptive, I like it. So, Tal, I'm going to move on. If you weren't working at Celsius, what would you be doing?
Nice. Wow. I probably will be a snowboarder on the mountains.
Do you like snowboarding?
But that's my plan after Celsius, also in a few years. So just, you know.
we will find you on the piste.
I can do Celsius and be a snowboarder too. I don't mind.
You can be handing out loans whilst going down.
Easy peasy.
I'm surprised she hasn't yet, honestly. I'm surprised you haven't done loans on the mountain at this point.
Well, they kind of locked me in my country, but that was the plan.
It's right. It's 2021 for it. Camilla, what about you? What would you be doing if you weren't here with us at Celsius?
Well, hopefully I wouldn't still be in a large investment bank. Found my way out of that system into the alternative financial ecosphere, I guess. I don't know, just, you know, Celsius has been a great change. It's an exciting place to be. And just love building stuff. It's great.
And Zach, what about you? Where would you be if you weren't hanging out with us at Celsius? You're on mute, mate. Zach's not learnt the unmute button. Asif, what about you? Where would you be if you weren't hanging out with us Celsians?
Probably painting and playing my guitar and hanging out with this
beautiful bambino.
Yes.
Bambino.
Oh my God.
And you know, holding my crypto. I don't know. Hanging out.
And Gabe, what about yourself?
Probably somewhere in South America.
Anywhere in particular in South America?
Possibly Montevideo. Always wanted to go.
Sounds beautiful, man. And so, Johannes, I got a new question for you. How did you first get into crypto?
Yeah, I saw it as a scam alert in equity discussions, and joined it, researched into it, and found out it wasn't a scam. So.
Was this back in 2017?
Yeah, it was 2016, 17, I think.
And what about you, Harumi? As our wonderful CFO, how did you first get into crypto? You're on mute, Harumi.
I'm not going to give you the long, boring version. So I would say the excitement took me along.
Can you please show us your pillow quickly? Is that a poker chip?
Oh, yes. This too.
Is that stolen or?
Oh, absolutely. When I went to Las Vegas, I said, I am going to steal and take it home and see if somebody actually let me make a bet with this one. $5,000 worth bet. I can go to high roller table.
Harumi loves alternative money.
Exactly. That's why I'm here. I love the excitement of it.
Deposit it in the Cell wallet. Let's see what happens.
It's just
I take poker chips, but only giant poker chip pillows.
So, actually, I do have a question for the community if I can. So if the electricity goes down, can I deposit something into my wallet?
The poker chip?
If the electricity goes down or if the network doesn't work.
All the wireless towers have their own power. So the answer is yes. You would still be able to use the wireless network.
All right.
And all the data centers have their own generators. So they are not dependent on the grid to continue running.
Quinta, what about yourself? How did you first get into crypto?
I guess it was forced on me. Well, you got to understand, I came from traditional banking. So every time you said crypto at work, it was like the worst thing ever because nobody believed that it would become a thing. So it was pushed on me by our general counsel, our chief compliance officer, Jeramie.
Jeramie's fault. Always Jeramie's fault.
That gives me so much hope for all the people that I push it on.
So, Waseem, this question's for you. What was it like meeting Alex for the first time?
So they called me in. Celsius called me in. It was like I came in on a bus on a Thursday night, and then Friday morning was my first day. And I go up into the elevator, and I meet Eliza. We then go walk.
$1 bus from Boston. It was the $1 bus.
Yep. It was an overnight. I quit my job on the bus ride over, so it was an intense emotional experience. But by the time I got there, I end up in the elevator. Eliza's there. We walk into this breakfast room, and everyone's popping bottles of champagne. And I'm like, is this normal? Turns out it was Eliza and Daniel getting engaged, and then everyone just kind of said hello, and it was pretty normal. But yeah, that was an interesting first day, and everyone is much more normal than maybe their media personalities make them seem.
Waseem was actually a fanboy, and when he got there, the first thing he wanted to do is take a picture with Alex. And he said he needs to prove to his father that he actually met Alex.
My parents did not believe, like, they were like, what are you doing getting on a bus going to New York? Like, what is this company? Who is this person? And then I had to prove to them that it was all real.
And did they believe the evidence, or did they accuse you of Photoshop magic?
They know I'm not that talented with Photoshop, so.
And what about you, Ashley? What was the first time meeting Alex like? This is about Ashley O. Just as a...
Oh,
Ashley, yeah.
Oh, well, Ashley Harrell should go next. Well, I worked for Celsius for quite a... Oh, no. When did I meet Alex? I came to
New York.
I visited New York about a month after I had started working for Celsius. And my one memory is that Alex did order pizza for all of us at the office. But I don't have a very eclectic palate, and I was not happy with the green leaves on my pizza. I just like plain solid pizza. That was
for basil, just so everybody knows it was.
It might have been like arugula or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I ordered that. That was arugula.
Yeah.
So here's my question to the team: pineapple on pizza?
No.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So to the community, do you trust us more now that you know some of us have pineapple on our pizza, or less? Let us know in the comments.
Our deposits drop.
I think it's important to have a diverse set of opinions here. So
It was actually Hawaiian pizza was created in Canada.
There we go.
If you did not know, I did not know that either as a Canadian. I just saw that on a Canada Day thing on some news channel.
And
But-
if
Speaking
I
of which,
trust it
happy
more or
Canada
less.
Day.
It is with
Happy
Canadian.
Canada Day.
I was yesterday.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Happy Canada Day for yesterday. And Leah, what about you? What was the first time meeting Alex like?
Oh my God. I met Alex like 2017 at a crypto meetup. And he was like walking and working the room. And I was like, it was my first like networking event that was lecture. And I was like standing in the corner because I was like, it was all guys, just so many guys. And I was like, I don't know what to do here. And he walked up, he's like, what are you doing here? I was like, I don't know. And then we ended up, conversing in different like groups that night. And he told me that he had patents for voice over IP. And I literally laughed. I didn't think he was telling me the truth. So I gave him my card. I was like, you can email me. And sometimes to this day, he would throw like that card on my desk, be like, very important person, follow up with this person. And then eventually I found out that he was telling the truth and kind of just stalked Celsius until he hired me. So it was an interesting experience. Actually, I think that Alex bought me my first.
I told you to quit your job that night, actually.
You did. You told me, I said, I don't know if I have the qualifications. And you said, A students work for B students, B students work for C students, and D students run the companies. You can do whatever you want. That's what you said, like word for word. So, yeah, it was an interesting experience. I think that it was one of the things that I respected the most was that literally there are so many people that have like impressive backgrounds that would never go to a meetup just to meet people in the community. Like they wouldn't show up just to talk to other people in the community. And that's what I probably would have been a bigger skeptic of Celsius if I wouldn't have met Alex first and then seen that like he was willing to like just talk to people, boots on the ground, no matter what his past accomplishments were. So
amazing, thank you. And actually, Daniel, I've always been meaning to ask you, how did you meet Alex, and what was your first impression?
Gee. I think we met. Let's see, it was 2008. 7.
It's like an old married couple where the guy doesn't remember the wedding date, and he's like, and the wife is like, ah.
Yeah. So Alex, it was in Cannes, France, in a conference. I was. It's called MIP TV. I had another startup that bought and sold TV rights, actually TV rights and content. And I traveled to this conference, and here it was sitting in a booth. It was just the weirdest thing, just weirdest dude sitting in the booth somewhere with this other. Well, she was there, I remember. Marketing his company at that time. And then he and I, like an old married couple, went to get a drink in the restaurant in Cannes. And the rest is history.
And that was when we worked on Uber before Uber. That was nothing to do with this, obviously.
No. That was way before the Uber before it was another company.
Yeah.
With the streaming, remember it was this streaming technology with the satellite. What was the name of it? DG something. Digimeld. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Is this what happens when you're like a serial entrepreneur? You forget the company's name.
I remember half of the name, and he remembers half of the name. It's a multi-sig arrangement.
That's right. DJ Mel, that's right.
Okay, Jeramie, I feel you're the appropriate person to ask this next question to. Who is the funniest person on the team?
Jeramie.
That's a hard one. There's so many great personalities. I think that in terms of dad jokes, it's definitely Alex. Harrell comes in a very close second for dad jokes. But oh gosh, someone that I think, you know what, she's probably not even here. Lisa, I think, is hilarious. She always cracks me up because of her very dry sense of humor and overwhelmingly sarcastic behavior. So I'll go with Elisa.
That was safe.
Thank you. So I got the first question from...
I think Elisa decided to join Celsius because Daniel and I were in Israel. We were sitting in this restaurant, and I gave the lady who was, the food servant, the waitress. Sorry, I couldn't get the word out. I gave her $100 worth of, or whatever, $100 or something worth of crypto as a tip, right? And I said to her, like, look, just all you need to do in life is just not sell this, just sit on it, And Elisa was like, okay, I have to work for this company, It was like, it was no matter what else we told her, like she didn't bought any of it. She took me to see her dad to convince him that the crypto is not a scam. None of that passed through the smell test, but being generous, I guess, did the trick.
You walk the walk. That's what Lisa cares about. You walk the walk.
Okay, so we'll be moving on. Alex, I've got a question for you. This comes from Steve, and he goes, "Hi, Alex and team. Institutions seem to be buying up the Bitcoin supply at alarming rates. They gain control of the supply and close or prevent fiat on-ramps for retail buyers. Can they close the retail buyers out?"
So I think a lot of people are confused when they see all these articles about GBTC having 10% of all the Bitcoin, and GBTC bought more coins than were mined since the halving. All those articles are bullshit. They're all nothing to do with reality. I think about 90% of the coins that are being deposited into GBTC are coins that institution is either borrowed or got from someone else, or not necessarily bought, right? So the math just is not right. That's not if institutions bought $3 billion worth of coins, the price of Bitcoin would be probably at $30,000 today. So if you watched any of my presentations with the handing off the baton and all that stuff, the speculators handing off the batons, not to the institutions, handing off the batons to more people just like us who are hodlers, right? We're creating the hodler community. We are the guys that's supposed to grab that baton and get Bitcoin to all-time high. So I would not bet on these institutions to do what everybody hopes that they will do. And I don't think that they are squeezing the little guy. After all, there are probably 300 exchanges where you can buy Bitcoin at any time you want. And you could have bought it at 4,000 and 6,000 and 9,000 and 12,000 just in the last few weeks, right? Since March. So it's all in your head. Are you a hodler? Do you believe in it long term? Or are you a skeptic? Or are you just here to speculate with it? And your behavior of what you're actually doing has to do more with what you are. Like if you're a hodler, then you're not afraid, not at 14,000 and not at 4,000.
Can I mention something on this too, real quick? Bitcoin, the blockchain, anything that's built on like distributed ledger technology is by nature, you cannot be held out from it. So like if you want to acquire Bitcoin, if you want to sell Bitcoin, there are all these kinds of like decentralized exchanges, these centralized exchanges, and then even like local Bitcoin type protocols where if you're in like Puerto Rico and you want to sell your Bitcoin there, or that's what I did a couple of weeks ago, you have the access to this. So no large institution can ever say no and cancel it all off. The people build infrastructure around around this, and no one can shut it off.
Thank you, Waseem. So I've got another question. It's coming from Max, and he goes, "Good day, Alex. I'm very curious to know how you got started. What was your first investments, your biggest mistakes, and a quick walkthrough of how you diversify your portfolio now?"
I have, if you go to Mashinsky.com, I actually list a lot of my mistakes there, and that list is longer, I think, than my investment. So it's the unportfolio, you know. And look, we all learn and live and learn. I think I would definitely fail as a venture capitalist because I'm too optimistic. I get too excited too easily. I have no problem jumping, you know, to try something new where most VCs will tell you that, you know, timing is just as important as what you invest in. So I love innovation. I love disruption. I love figuring out complex issues, right? That's where I thrive versus other people who may thrive somewhere else. So for me, solving the more complex the puzzle, the more exciting it is, right? And obviously, Bitcoin / crypto / decentralization is probably one of the most complex puzzles out there. Like I said before, right? Fintech has done nothing to disrupt the banks in 30 years or 40 years. There isn't, like, if you look at JP Morgan, you say, okay, who put a scratch on JP Morgan? Show me one company that caused even a scratch on what they do or how they do it or what they charge you or what they give you back and so on. So my career, if you look at all the different, like the 8 companies I founded or investments I've made, they're all in bleeding edge, not cutting edge, but bleeding edge stuff. And many of these bleeding edge things just die off or never come to be. Or like with GroundLink, you have, you know, our slogan was happy drivers equals happy customers, and came a company that did exactly the opposite, right? Most Uber drivers today earn less than minimum wage. So they achieved exactly the opposite goal of what we were thriving for. They burned $14 billion doing that, and they went public and then made sure that every retail investor lost half of their money investing in that project. And everybody's celebrating that as a huge success. So what happens in Silicon Valley is not necessarily acting in your best interest, right? So we every company I started, every project I worked on, if you dig into it, you'll see that it's doing good before doing well, right? Subway project, everything else. So I think, you know, in this world, you just have to make a choice. Are you gonna work for the money, or are you gonna work for your heart?
Thank you. So I've got a question here. I believe Ashley, Harrell, or Harumi will be best to answer this. It comes in from Thomas, and he goes, "Will you publish a financial report, brackets P&L?"
I'm going to let Harumi answer this one.
I actually couldn't hear the question very well. Could you repeat?
Harumi, are there any plans for us to publish a financial report, a P&L report?
Are there any? Okay, so that's a really interesting question. No. Okay, that establishes my. All right. The reason I start with no is as a private company, there's no obligation per se for us to post anything. That said, we are a blockchain company. The transparency is our policy. So if somebody has any questions about how we're performing, I mean, I think Alex is always talking about it on AMN and other video clips, like how we are doing financially well. This is what we are raising. This is how we did the last quarter. So while we may or may not post the financials, because a lot of financials that we have are still unaudited, right? Until like 1 year passes and then auditors come, they check the numbers. Those are really unofficial, something that can be corrected like 2 months, 3 months from now. So it's not in the best interest of anyone to actually see these financials before they get corrected. And thus the best source is actually come to talk to us. So if any of you are interested in seeing how we are performing, come and talk to me, come and talk to Alex, come and talk to anyone. we are a pretty open book. So that's, I think, how we're going to be transparent about this. What do you think, Alex?
Just to add to that, yeah, let me add to that. We do publish our financials because the company house, if you just do a search, Celsius Network / or space company house, we file them with the UK effectively every year. They're just lagging. So like Harumi said, you can't get them. If you want to see the performance of Celsius, you can see how much token or how much Bitcoin we're buying every week, and we publish that on our system. But if you want to see audited or whatever financials that we file with the UK authorities, you have to wait usually 6 to 9 months after the year closes. So you can see 18-19 financials right now. I think I posted a link of that on Telegram. But if you can't find it there, just do a search and you can see a PDF, and we'll be filing another one in the next 60 to 90 days for 1920.
That's awesome. Thank you. So taking it away from finances and bringing it back to social media, this goes for Waseem, Leah, or Johannes. The question comes in from Tim. He goes, I've been trading for about 8 years and social media has been my main source of news and developments in crypto. Are there any other sources or groups you would recommend joining to stay ahead?
For trading, I will defer to probably Johannes. I can talk about memes and stuff, but for where to get information about how the industry is doing and the man who is like the one man CIA, he knows everything that's going on at all times is Mr. Johannes. So I'm volunteering you.
Oh, I'm just searching on the blockchain. That's where I'm living all the time, but mostly you can also extract valuable information from Bloomberg or Reuters or all the other sources. So, or Twitter even. So there's a lot of noise on Twitter, and if you're looking for great information about trading, that's where you could start. But talking again about transparency, I would start on the blockchain. So it depends on what you're searching for.
Also, I think it's also.
Oh, sorry, Leah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think that in doing, not trading specifically, but doing my own research and like learning about different like niche areas of crypto, it's just, you kind of got to take in a ton of like information. Like personally, I'll go through Twitter and click on every single link of the people I follow and then create a reading list and go through it on the weekends, because it's just kind of consumption of information, and you deduce from it what you want and take from it what you want, but it just kind of boils down to finding the medium in which you interact with best, whether it's podcasts or articles or AMAs, short feeds, and you take all of it, and then you kind of just have to put in the work and read all the things that you can in order to really understand what's going on in whatever area you're studying.
I'm going to be doing a show later today with the guy from CoinGecko. We're mainly talking about like numbers and how to derive metrics for like this wild world of crypto. So definitely self-promotional, but tune into that.
Follow me on Instagram. My name is Waseem.
Is that show called the Waseem of IP? What is that called?
Tom, what are we calling it?
You came up with the name, Defying
Finance. What? Yeah, that's so we settled on. But DeFi with like DEFI, like not defying, but it's a pun.
And where can the community find the best meme content?
Definitely in the Telegram group, we got some pretty amazing meme lords. The Celsians, they know what they're doing.
There's some pretty strong opinions on memes.
Memes are a battleground. So whilst we're lucky enough to have the Serbia team here, Vlad, I have a question for you and also Nuke. It goes, if I registered for Celsius when I lived in Texas, brackets, where I can't earn interest on stable coins, but then I moved to a state that allows it, how does Celsius know I'm no longer in Texas to begin earning interest?
Yeah, so we have the compliance engine that is basically allowing us to have different types of settings for different countries. So as soon as you're logging in from a different IP address, we know about it, and we have to follow all the regulations that are connected to it. So if you move to a country where, or a state where something is allowed, then you have the right to use it. So
wait, tell them about the NSA satellite we used to track everybody and know where you go.
Yeah, we got the 5G chips embedded in all of you.
Of course, that's an obligation nowadays.
So no, yeah, let me just expand on that. So Vlad mentioned the compliance engine. We have one, if not the most sophisticated compliance engines in the industry, maybe in traditional industry, and that compliance engine knows to take IP, in some cases GPS, your address, your citizenship, your residential address, and it basically decides what you can and cannot do, but based on very complex set of regulations. So if Jeramie's team says that a resident who is currently in Texas cannot use stable coins, the compliance engine will not allow him or her to use stable coins. But also, if the regulation says that if you're a resident of Texas, we know that too, and that's how we make the decisions. So it's a very complex engine. It actually also knows how to move between different custodians. So if a certain custodian has some licenses that we can piggyback on, we know how to do it. So there's a lot of parameters in that equation.
So yes, as Nuke said, it is a combination of a lot of parameters. So if the question was if I can trick the system with VPN to hide the time in Texas, answer is no.
Thank you for that. So I'm going to move on now to Camilla. I've got a question here from Mark, and he goes, how will you set yourself apart from other crypto companies like Crypto.com and Voyager? Tal, feel free to jump in on this as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a really unique philosophy and vision, obviously coming straight from our leadership. And, I think everyone here in the company really feels strongly about what we're doing for our customers. We think about that every day in what we do. And I think it shows, I think people can really see with how we go about our business, people in the industry and people who use our product as well, see that we're trying to build something that is obviously a good company and a successful company, but that is really in their best interests. I think we try and do lots of creative things, whether it's, the coins we have on the app. I think on the other side of the business where I spend a lot of time with institutions, it's trying to obviously do creative things that are going to bring value to the company as well. So I think that's how we differentiate ourselves and we'll be successful going forward and have the most fun doing it.
We have a special guest. I invited the bank to join us. For those of you who've seen some of the episode, my wife plays the bank, and I'm still trying to recruit her to join the crypto world. But
hi everyone. Camilla, that's a hard act to follow.
Hi.
Very well said.
Banks are not your friends. Just a reminder.
I only play one on YouTube.
Where's the printer?
Exactly.
Where is the printer?
Exactly. Well, I'm pretty fortunate to be close to everyone in this community. I've learned so much from everyone. So thank you for welcoming me.
We have any questions for the bank? Tom, any bank questions on the list?
Nothing directly for the bank, but I'm going to ask a question. When are you going to take Mr. Mashinsky out and film more Cell versus the Bank episodes?
Yeah, soon. We owe you more episodes.
We need material. We need more. I asked for help on the script. We don't have the script to play, so we need help with coming up with
scripts.
Fun short memes on delivering the kind of the message of how we're different than the financial institutions you work with every day.
Well, it's nice to see everyone.
Nice to see you. So yeah, community, if you have any suggestions for Cell versus the banks, please hit them up to me on the Celsius Twitter account and we'll get those made. So I've actually got a question now for Ashley Harrell. It comes in from PJ and he goes, How is the income generated to pay sell-on-sell interest? Will the 5.12% rate sustainable when sell is $3 and beyond?
Why can't I get any of the fun questions?
Who is the funnest person at Celsius?
Well, I mean, of course, this is what everybody wants to know. How are we making the money so that we're able to provide so much revenue back to the community? And it's through diverse relationships established with mid to large size institutions that are looking to borrow from us, and all of our retail borrowers who are borrowing dollars. There's a lot of conversion. We work with a lot of different coins that enable us to generate enough revenue to put that back into the market for sell. Because we have to go out to the market to buy sell every week to pay it, we're using the revenues we're making from these loans to be able to convert that into sell that we pay back to the community. So I'm sure Alex and Harumi and everyone else could maybe talk about that a little bit more articulately than me, but it's our special sauce.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, we can spill the beans here. In 2 weeks, you'll be able to borrow dollars or stable coins against your sell. So that's one of the ways we're making money. So that's coming soon. We've waiting for it for a while. Now we put Nuke and the tech team on the spot. Now they have to deliver. They don't have a choice. That's what we do. Every AMA, we just put everybody on the spot, promising things.
If you just notice how uncomfortable Jeramie got, then it's not me.
Yes. So we may have to block certain jurisdiction. So we're still waiting for all the legalese to know what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. But basically, as you know, Celsius always puts compliance and security first. So we start with security, then we make sure that the compliance part is done well, and then we try to always act in your best interest, right? Because there's no point endangering the community just to give you another bell or whistle. But that's the short answer.
So following on from that, and this also goes for you as well, Daniel, the question comes in from Fred. What is your opinion on Nexo's dividend token announcement? Is this a path you could see Celsius doing at some point or going? That's for you, Alex.
For me, all right. So yeah, look, I think if you look at Compound 1.0 versus Compound 2.0, Nexo 1.0 versus Nexo 2.0, all these companies are trying to jump through hoops to keep up with Celsius, and none of them, no matter what they're doing, pays you 80% of what they make. So I think Nexo still pays about 30%. You can see that on their website. They proudly display that. Binance pays 20% of their net profit. Compound, if you compare the rates of what they lend versus what they borrow, they pay you between 35 and 40%. Right, of what they charge you to borrow versus what they pay you out, right? So that ratio is really all that matters. The rate itself doesn't matter because one day it's 18% and one day it's 1%. So what matters is who is acting in your best interest. And all of these arrangements that other people are doing do not bring them to the level of distribution that we do, right? So Celsius basically has a very simple business model that says we will give the most to the community. Through that, we will have the most deposit. With those deposits, we'll earn the most interest. And our 20%, what we keep, is going to be worth more than all these other guys, because if we have more coins and we do more deployment, that's going to make the company more valuable. If it's more valuable, again, the token value is going to increase, and so on. So all these things are in one flywheel. If you want to know how all of that works, it's clearly displayed on our sell token page on our website. And so, look, I'm very happy that all these companies are trying to do better, right? And they're improving what they're giving out to the community. But I don't think any of them gets to, 80%. Again, DeFi, pure DeFi should be doing better than Celsius, should be able to give 90% back to the community. But when they liquidate you, they charge 16%. When they put the bid and ask, it's 35% margins. So the model is just not working. The model is not what it's supposed to be. Now, great, you can throw comp token on it and subsidize everything. That does not fix anything, right? It doesn't fix the business model. It just creates, it's like putting gasoline on a fire. Great, it's burning. For how long, right? How can you keep the fire going? So our business model has been proven not just to work, but also to scale. It worked perfectly well during a flash crash on March 12th. It worked perfectly well when the market was going higher every day, right? So, and again, we invite, like I always say that, we invite the rest of the community to copy us, right? What they can't copy is the energy in the room and the commitment and the hard work that everybody here has been putting for the last 2 or 3 years. You can't copy the innovation and you can't copy the mojo.
Thank you. So switching up, this question's for Asaf. The question is, you power much of the operations going on behind the scenes at Celsius. What is it like to be in your position, and what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned?
That's a good question. I think it's easy when your decisions like the power behind the decisions is for the community, so it's easy to make the right decision. I guess days like March 12 and there were other days with big volatility in the markets when you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. But our everyday work and the teamwork around everything that we're doing, just it's like I trust my team and the team trusts me, and I don't know, it's working. Like obviously it's working, right? And I think the teamwork is what makes it amazing, and all the decisions are easy because you have your back, right? I think that's it. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. And speaking of a lot of responsibility, Darren, this question is for you. You work with multiple currencies. You're no ordinary accountant. What lessons do you have for cryptocurrency accountants?
I'm not really sure how to take that one. It's tough. It's when I started with Celsius, I really didn't have much experience with cryptocurrency. And when I first started with it, I did have experience with foreign currency. So I sort of used that as my basis, as, my starting point. And, I researched it, I tried to learn as much as I could, and it's not really like that. So dealing with all these currencies is tough. While we're doing this AMA, I'm actually, I'm working. I mean, that's, it's just a lot of work, but it's fun and it's interesting. So I guess the way to do it is just try to use the fundamentals you've learned and, put it together, because the accounting aspect of Celsius is, we're all learning, and we're sort of like Celsius is almost creating this as we go along. So that's basically the best advice I can give you.
Thank you. And so this question goes out for Gabe, as our newest team member. What's it like working at Celsius? What do you do? And how did you get into what you do?
For sure. Well, it's been super exciting. So I'm doing data analytics. So I'm basically looking at a lot of these data sources that Celsius has about our app, or about our community, or about what's going on outside in the broader world. And I'm combining them together, and I'm making visualizations for all of the different parts of the organization. And then also, doing some other things beyond that, including like machine learning and whatnot. And joining Celsius has been just so exciting because there's so much to do. Like, we have so much data coming in, and it really, I think, can be utilized in a much better and more clear and interesting way. So I've been delivering a lot of that, working on a lot of infrastructure behind the scenes. And and I think there's a lot more to do beyond what I've already started doing. And I learned how to do this. I actually ran prior to joining Celsius, I ran an agency actually with Waseem. a design and development agency. So we were doing this every day. We built products for, various industries, healthcare, insurance, transportation, you name it. So we got a lot of hands-on experience about what it's like to deliver products that actually get used in production. And I'm taking a lot of those skills about how to integrate different things and perform system analysis and develop something that works for the people who are using it. So that's what I'm doing at Celsius too.
Thank you. So I'm gonna throw this out to the entire room here. I've got a question from Simon. Where do you see the community in 10 years and how many users in 10 years? Whoever's feeling brave.
We're all just trying to think of 10 years in crypto. I think, a month feels like a year, right? 10 years is a long time.
Is this Simon from Back to the Future who asked the question?
So we have to 20 times, 30 times the client number to begin with. And we have to about, 30 times the AUM. That's about where we are going to be in 10 years minimum. And who's going to come back to me 10 years later say, I wasn't telling you the truth?
I have a good answer to that. In 10 years, some other Alex Mashinsky will ask, what kind of disruption can scratch Celsius?
I love it.
I think the world is facing a very interesting era. It started now. It started a few years ago, but it's obviously you can see that the financial system that are used today in the world is not working, and people are starting to realize that in all kinds of people. It's now because the world changing like this, like the COVID thing, and it's just changed everything, and the financial system will change with it. I think so. In 10 years, I think we will be in a very good place.
Well, the younger generation, the people who are just coming to the workforce now or they're in their 20s, I think are demanding much more. They're not accepting what our generation accepted and said, okay, here's a corporate ladder, here's the pyramid that we all have to work with. And I think younger people are basically saying, I'm not going to take your dollar, I'm not going to take your debt, I'm not going to take all this BS you guys built. Okay, and if we have to build something new, we'll do that. So it's all you had to do was basically just give an alternative, and people automatically gravitate towards that. It's not like we are paving a whole new road. We just we just have to show people that there is an alternative to banks.
I can say all my friends that I went to business school with, they do not want to be working at a bank anymore either. So like seeing the way that the culture is here and how things differ, I really think that, like Asaf said, not only from what users are demanding, but also what the people who are going to be building the next generation of infrastructure, my generation, we're demanding that we actually get to do something that we understand the value that we're producing, and we're not just sitting behind a computer clicking numbers, but we feel connected to the mission.
I don't know, Waseem. I feel like when you actually put the accent on my generation, I felt like you challenged some of us. Alex, Nuke, we have to kind of stay united, and we have to somehow put up the debate against this one.
Hit me.
What are you talking about? I'm a Z generation.
There's this thing called the Zebellion. If you've had a chance to check on my Twitter, I tweeted about it. But it's the Pentagon is actually preparing, they're doing internal war games about the Generation Z being so upset about today's world and today's infrastructure, and how they might use distributed ledger technology and all these different alternative rails to not opt into the system that they're so used to being controlled. So I'm happy to hop into this debate anytime. We'll fight it
out for the next one.
Yeah, instead of face mask, we just need to start producing red pills for everybody, from the Matrix,
So I've got a question for John here, and the question goes: what can you share about being a remote team member for those who want to do the same? Because you've been doing it for a while.
Hi, hello. I think one thing that you need to do is you need to manage your time. You need to set routine. Every morning, I like to do writing my tasks, and immediately when the team needs solve problems or if we have problems in the like the systems or automation, immediately solve the issue. So we need consistent communication to the team. I think that's the essence in terms of doing remote. You need to be available all the time to solve the issues or so to be more something that you need to contribute well enough. That's it.
Thank you. So I've got a question back for Vlad here. It goes, okay, you build the systems. DeFi user experience isn't usually as simple as the Celsius app. What's your secret and why is the user experience so superior? Do we still have Vlad?
Yeah,
Vladimir, you take it.
So basically, we are always listening to our customers, doing lots of analysis. Basically, we are data-driven company, and we are improving experience all the time. So basically, that's it.
Thank you. So I've got a question coming from the community. It's back to you, Alex. Are you running other companies at present, or are we taking up all your time?
Other companies? No, I quit all my other obligations. I was on several boards and I was on a few nonprofits and whatever. So I had to quit all my other, commitments between the 6 kids and Celsius. It's 28 hours a day. It's there's no minute left for anything. It's definitely a full-time engagement. But I'm still a shareholder in a bunch of companies. So I'm not. It's not like I don't own anything else besides Celsius, but I don't spend time on anything else.
Thank you. And so, Shiran, I've been meaning to ask you, how do you compare your security here at Celsius with those of our competitors? Have we lost Shiran?
You're still muted, Shiran.
Hi there. So first of all, we always benchmark ourselves within the sector, meaning what other competitors, what other companies, if they're direct competitors or within the crypto sector, what they're doing within the various technology and security layers. So this is an ongoing benchmark of trends, best practices regarding security, current and next generation technology. So this is something that we do all the time within the sector. In addition, we learn from other sectors. Again, if it's traditional banking or next generation fintech, or even, let's say, mining technologies, or again, operational technology in other sectors like energy and stuff like that. So looking within the sector, what people are doing, looking outside the sector, because you can always learn about what other sectors are doing, and improving and benchmarking against these types of companies. Now, in the hacking world, you can say, or the security world, there's an analogy that says, if you and I are running in the jungle, and a tiger starts running after us, I just need to be a bit quicker than you. So I'm not eaten by the lion or tiger, and you're being eaten. So that's one of the things that you could say the benchmark does, understands how to be one step ahead of the competitors, of other companies in other sectors, and of course, of the hackers. So that's in short.
Thank you, Shiran. So my next question goes out for Paul. Paul, you're working as a part of a newer team within
Let me just add to that, because there's like the joke in the security business is that there's 2 types of companies: the ones that know they got hacked and the ones that don't know they got hacked, right? So the everybody gets hacked. The question is, do you have all the system and the procedures to catch it quickly and make sure that there's no damage affected for anyone? Because many of these hacks have to do with operating system and things that are not in your control, right? So this is not a competition between us and BlockFile, between us and Coinbase, of who's gonna get hacked the least. If our entire industry wants to become an alternative to the banking systems, banks get hacked every day. There are several banks every day around the world that get money stolen from them, right, by hackers. You just don't know about it. They never publish that, right? So it's not like Citibank goes and says, oh, today we got hacked and hundreds of millions of dollars disappeared, which actually happens several times a year to Citibank. So the challenge for our community is working together to make this industry stable and resilient, so it can become an alternative to the banking infrastructure, right? And banks have very clear and good procedures of what happens if they get hacked, right? They have the FDIC, they have all these other things that kind of guarantee that the customer doesn't get hurt. And the crypto community doesn't have that yet. So part of what we as one of the good actors in this community needs to do is to make sure that we build these systems, or we create the defenses that are necessary, so customers know no matter what happens to Coinbase or Celsius that they're going to get their money back.
I just read that the Chinese bank, last night I read a Chinese bank figured out that they made billions of dollars in loans, and the collateral was gold bullions that they held. And they just found out that all the gold was actually copper plated with gold. Somebody pulled a real job on them. So it happens everywhere, and the hackers are always very, very clever. I called it in a previous AMA, I called it a chess game. So we're playing a chess game, and we're trying to stay a couple of steps ahead of the game.
Thank you. So, Paul, you're working as a part of a newer team within Celsius. Tell us a little about your position and what you're building, please.
I just joined like a month ago. It's pretty fun, and I've been learning quite a bit about crypto, about some of the different markets, how to connect to them, what the different security layers are, and some of the new technologies for me that I can use to better improve my skills and the product at the same time. As for what I'm building, I would refer to Asaf for that, just because that's he can explain it a lot better than I can.
Yeah, we are building the remedy of getting money out of the trees. No, I'm joking. It's just it's I think it's too secret. It's the secret sauce, right? It's like the behind the scenes of how Celsius is making money, and
let's leave it at no comment. Huh?
No comment. Okay, we're moving on from the secret source. Actually, Daniel, can you please answer this question for me? It's come in. In your experience from GroundLink and now the situation with Uber, do you think balance sheet wars truly build sustainable businesses? If not, who gets the short end of the stick? And do you think this tactic will work for crypto lending?
You're muted.
No, that was a long question. Or is it Daniel who's muted?
Yeah, Daniel's muted. I'll answer it because he doesn't look like he's going to answer. So look, for whatever, 20, 30 years, companies like WeWork and Uber and a bunch of others basically said, we're going to subsidize stuff forever. And then we're just going to dump it on somebody else, either a big company or a big bank, or somebody's going to come and buy us. Same thing with fintech. Most fintech companies lose money, right? And or we're going to go public, and the market is going to give us a bump in valuation, and everybody who subsidized us for 5 or 10 years is going to make money, right? So I think the reasons you don't have any IPOs, right, initial public offerings, very, very few public offerings, is because, again, the public, which is who is buying this stock, got left holding the the wrong side of the stick here, right? And unfortunately, no one cares. No one on Wall Street cares. They make their fees. The VCs don't care. They dumped on the retail guy. And the retail guy, again and again and again, does not get to participate. One of the reasons Celsius opened our round of funding on Bank to the Future to the community at a very reasonable valuation is because we wanted to make sure that our customers, the people who are building value in this company, our depositors, right, our customers, are going to participate in the value creation, right? When Coinbase tried to offer equity in their company, it was an $8 billion valuation. After several rounds of venture investment by Andreessen Horowitz and all the fancy guys. Great, it's good for them. How is it good for you? How did you get to participate? You gave Coinbase all of your coins. You gave them your money. You paid the fees, billions of dollars in fees, right? Where did all that money go? Did you get anything back? So the point is that you can't say something and then do the opposite, right? And that's what the problem is with the venture funds, right? Almost none of these retail guys will ever be able to participate in any of these venture funds. You cannot go and write a check to Andreessen Horowitz and participate in their fund, which made all the money on Coinbase or made all the money on Uber or eBay or any of the other companies. So I think it's what we're doing is not just creating a new system, but we also enabling all the people who participate in the creation to come and enjoy from not just from the benefit of the 80%, but also from the value creation in the company.
Thank you. So Jeramie, I've got a question come in from you, from Tomas. He goes, taking into consideration the gold confiscation by the governments in the past, have you considered a red button where in an emergency, the private keys are given to the users, making it a non-custodial wallet? Keep up the good work. Is Jeramie here? And whoever's on... Have we lost Jeramie? Okay, moving on. So Zach, we all know you from the community. How did you end up joining the team? I want to do the same.
All right. Yeah, it was an amazing journey. I started I heard Alex on the Pomp podcast, and then I got involved with the Telegram community. I met Waseem, and Waseem really gave me an opportunity to volunteer and help. So I just did a lot of that during 2019, and then I was fortunate to be brought on the team early this year. So shout out to Waseem for putting me on.
I think Waseem got most of us a job here. The man is in charge. So I've got a question for Ashley O here. Most of the financial stuff we read is full of jargon. Celsius does a great job of making it easy to understand. How did you develop the Celsius voice?
Well, I'll be honest, I was planning on staying behind the scenes for the call. So I was not expecting a question. How do we find the Celsius voice? That's a really good question. I think it helps that I think Kristin, who's our marketing director, and myself, we both do not come from a crypto background or a finance background. I come from a marketing content creation background. So in order for me to really understand what we're like, in order to communicate what we're doing, I need to personally understand it. And the way that I understand it is most of the time the way that it's written. Because, I consider myself not only a Celsius employee, but a Celsius user, a Celsius fan, a Celsius advocate. So it's really just thinking about, it's almost like I think about how would I explain this like to my mom or my brother or like people who I know that don't know crypto, and really thinking about how the user is going to interpret it. And that's really our goal as a marketing team, especially through our content, is to be reaching people who are not just in crypto, but also expanding our community beyond crypto, and really trying to put a new voice on crypto in general, that it's not so scary. It's not something that's just for the finance experts. It's not something that's just for, the anarchists or whatever, that it is a relevant modern way to manage your funds and your money.
Thank you.
I hope I answered.
So that was a great answer. So I've just got a request of the team. Whoever's not talking, can you please make sure you're muted as someone's doing some very loud key clacking? Thank you. So I've got a question here from John. It goes, Alex, I remember you saying you wanted 100 million sell. Is that still your goal?
Yes, we definitely, and you know, accumulating is the right approach. I mean, again, all of us have to sell sometimes, buy sometimes. So my holdings go up and down, and you know, every time I have 3 kids in college and 3 kids in a private school, so I do have to pay some bills once in a while, but overall, I'm looking to increase my position. I've been buying Bitcoin actually recently. I think it's overdue for a pop. So, you know, sometimes it comes from the dollar pocket, sometimes it comes from the sell pocket, sometimes Bitcoins turn themselves into sell tokens. So the goal is to expand the community. I mean, the community should not be sitting there waiting or relying on me to do this or that, right? I mean, the idea is that the largest holder of Cell is Celsius, not me, right? So Celsius has over 300 million Cell tokens in treasury. And if you want to see what Celsius is doing, that is the most important thing for the community. And we were talking about that today, actually, with the management team, that we wrote that in our white paper back in 2017, that we're going to be there to support the community when the Cell token price is going down, and we may be selling into the price we think the price is going up too high, right? So watch Celsius, watch how much we publish, how much we buy from the market every week. Are we buying 80% or 50% or 100%? And that should give you a good message if Celsius feels that the price is too high or too low. As you know, in the last few weeks, we'll be buying 100% of what we need to pay our community from exchanges. And that should tell you everything you need to know.
Thank you. So my next question is for you, Kristin. It goes, what's unique about marketing to crypto people? We are a difficult tribal lot.
Yeah, I think it's, one of the most challenging, one of the most interesting audiences for sure. Traditional techniques do not work. I was just talking with Nuke this morning, even when it comes to ad attribution, crypto users are going to be the first group of people to turn off any sort of data tracking or anything. So at the core, it's very different. But we've been having so much fun. I mean, like Ashley said, neither Ashley nor I come from crypto. And so it's been really, really fun to learn the industry. Our tactics thus far have really just been to provide all of you as many tools to basically spread the word. And we've had a really great success using you guys as our ambassadors and as our advocates. And basically, I think our job is just to not stand in the way of that and to, write things in a way that you can use to explain to your friends and give you the right videos to share on social and all those sorts of things. And you've been doing the great job.
I don't think anyone has figured out how to reach out to the community, because after 12 years, we have, 40 million, 45 million users. So that's like out of 7.5 billion people, that's nothing. That's like, we found all of the anarchists, and we found maybe a chunk of libertarians and a bunch of speculators, but we did not reach out to a whole generation that is looking for something that is acting in their best interest. So the piece, and part of it has to do with the fact that most companies in cryptos don't care about you. They're not there to help you. They're there to grab a fee or grab a chunk of what you're trying to make along the way, right? Just like any other bank. So you want to build this into a global movement and have 1 billion people use it. Stop charging everybody fees.
I got a question for Tom. So I mean, you have like a video background. How did you end up in the world of crypto, and what do you have like as maybe a lesson for making the transition into like the finance world as someone with maybe a more arts background?
Yeah, I never thought I'd actually end up in finance. This is a weird position for me to be in. I mean, I was the dude with the mohawk going to punk gigs and being fairly more anti-establishment, but here we are. So I was at work. I was actually working on Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and sort of me and the team ended up it was on the Bitcoin beginning of the parabolic bull run in 2017. And it eventually took over. Like, so on one screen, we're working on like Gamora and all that. And then the other screen, we had like CoinMarketCap. And it was just everyone watching their portfolios. And sort of the more and more I started looking into cryptocurrency and transition from that sort of speculator role into more understanding what the technology is about. And it became all consuming. And then I sort of ended up switching companies, and it just wasn't as, crypto became more fulfilling to me than sort of working on big Hollywood movies. And then I managed to get in touch with the Celsius team. That all started with a tweet. I literally messaged Alex on Twitter and just said, hey, if you need any motion graphics, any videos. He replied saying, sure, send it here. I got chatting to you, Waseem, and 6 months later, I now find myself part of the team. I'm a very happy man.
So I guess the answer is always talk to Waseem. Whatever the question is, the answer is talk to Waseem.
Waseem is the go-to. He's the, what's the word, consigliere of our...
Well, we hired probably a dozen ambassadors that worked for us part-time or kind of did different gigs. Now we have over 550 ambassadors. So I think every ambassador is now like, okay, I'm typing a message to Waseem right now. So Waseem, forget about the weekend, okay?
It's my favorite thing to talk to all you guys. So feel free to send the messages away.
That was so wholesome and beautiful. Thank you. So now I've got to bring it back off of the ambassadors. This question comes from Jonathan. It goes, Alex, your meals always look great. When are you releasing your own cookbook? #Mashinsky's meals.
It's not a bad idea. I think, I was lucky to grow up in Israel where the fruits, the vegetables, everything is just like fresh and tastes amazing. And then I came to the United States and everything is giant, but it has no taste, and it was like always a challenge to think, okay, how do you bring back like that taste of the homeland, but what we eat every day is just as important as what we do, and unfortunately, again, in the United States, junk food and the fact that everybody's trying to save money and whatever, and they're feeding us all this corn, everything, corn syrup and everything that's made out of corn, right? Which is not necessarily good for you. So, and it's cheap and it's available and it's quick, but it runs havoc on your body. So part of why I'm posting these things is not to brag about my cooking. There's nothing special there. I'm just showing people that you want real energy. You want to be able to run as far as you can. Make sure you also have good food in you.
Thank you. Ashley O came up with the idea to rename your show Meals Over IP. So that's the new name for it. So one of the last few questions here, this goes out to Alex, Nuke, or Waseem. It comes in from Mark, and he goes, it's quite a long one. The top 100 list of Cell was updated on June 30th. There's a new person on the list at number 3 with 13 million Cell tokens. Is that person a part of the Celsius team?
No, he's not. We don't control who's obviously who buys and who sells. We do sell tokens once in a while. Like for example, before we closed the round of funding, we had a few big loans and we needed some more cash, and we either borrow that money from lenders, or sometimes we would use sell token in treasury to generate more dollars. I mean, it's not like we take these dollars and we give everybody a big bonus, right? We take these dollars and we lend them out. So we've done a $10 million loan. We're working on a $40 million loan now. We have a $100 million loan that's in the works. So when you're working on these large transactions, and not always you have your lenders ready to give you that much money, and sometimes you have to get it from other places. So in this case, this was a big buyer of Cell token that agreed to purchase Cell, and we used the funds to fund a big loan. And, they're also participating as an investor in Celsius in the current round. So it's a very long-term holder of sell. I don't think they're planning to sell anytime soon.
Thank you. So we're going to wrap things up here, but one last question for the entire team. So jump in if you have something new or exciting to share. Which of you have developed new COVID hobbies or new skills in your time in quarantine? Apart from Alex and cooking.
For me, it's been great. I've been traveling across the country. I was in Sedona and Albuquerque and Georgia. Just like kind of living on farms or in like rural areas. So it's not a new hobby, but it's a new way of living for sure.
Yeah, I actually started again after a year that I said I have no time. I went back on reading books, which is kind of nice. 1 hour before bed, even though it's really late sometimes, I'm reading again, which is nice. How come there's no lending questions today? I feel like everyone knows everything about lending. I was ready here with, talking about the new rates. What's going on here?
Tell us about the new rates. What about them?
Did you change our rates recently?
We have the lowest rates in the world, okay? I want more questions about it. Probably it's really clear, but 1% loans, guys, come on.
Do we lend only in the US or do we lend outside of the US?
We lend all over the world, Nuke. Thank you for asking that. We are all over. Just try us out with the lowest rate.
Tal, who do you approve? Do you approve everybody or do you only approve people who are close to the bank?
Oh, everyone who has an account in Celsius and is with us in the region.
What credit score do I need to lend dollars?
None. No credit scores. I love these questions, guys. You need to keep them coming. I'm dreaming about this at night. I'm like, this is my breakfast. I mean, come on. It's 11 p.m. here. I wanted
Do we have any origination fees?
No origination fees. No fees. We have no fees.
Wait, how can you make money if you don't charge any fees, right? The banks have made all their money charging fees. So where do you make your money?
These are the peanuts. You don't need them. And it's not healthy for you. So you don't need fees.
Can I take a loan out to pay for a snowboarding trip?
Well, I'm gonna take a loan and take everyone for a snowboard trip with me in Italy in a few months.
That goes out to you, the community as well. We're all going snowboarding.
Join us. It's fun.
Well, thank you all ever so much for your time. Mr. Mashinsky, any final thoughts?
Yeah, we have a new theme song. You thought you were going to get away with it. No, you got to do it. Hey, hey. Come on, guys. You got to chime in. It's not just me.
To the community, I will release a video of Alex singing this song.
I love this song. John, you gotta find these girls and bring them on. Come on. They probably live next to you somewhere.
Thank you ever so much, Mr. Mashinsky, and everyone else. Thank you for your time.